The staircase. Wait, what am I thinking? Chloe stood at the foot of the old stone staircase inside the Department of Employment Services building, her gaze tracing its winding path as it disappeared into the upper levels. It seemed endless. Each step stretched farther into the unknown, tightening the knot in her chest. The staircase felt like a metaphor for everything she had to do, everything she had to be, too many things at once, all waiting for her to succeed, with too little time to make it all happen. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. She fumbled to pull it out, the screen lighting up with a reminder for a basic business license meeting she wasn't prepared for. "You've got this." The message was from Liana, her close friend. They'd spent the last hour texting about Chloe's latest career setback, how her application process had slipped through her fingers once again, how her peers seemed to advance through their local entrepreneurship goals while she stumbled, always running to catch up. Liana's message was brief, but it was a small comfort. It felt like a lifeline, a reminder that Chloe didn't need to have everything all figured out right now, even if she couldn't bring herself to believe it. Liana had been saying the same thing for years: focus on the step in front of you, not the whole staircase. But Chloe never understood. She was a planner, a perfectionist, someone who saw every administrative obstacle in the district as a mountain that had to be conquered in one single leap. She didn't know how to pause long enough to notice the steps beneath her feet. With a sigh, Chloe stuffed her phone back into her pocket and turned toward the staircase. "You're really going to stand there all day?" The voice was low, teasing yet steady, as though the speaker had always known she would hesitate. Startled, Chloe looked up. Ben stood midway up the staircase, leaning casually against the stone railing. His posture was relaxed, but his eyes were sharp, seeing through the layers of doubt Chloe usually kept hidden. They had met a few weeks ago at a cafe at Union Station after a community outreach selected stories. The Staircase One workshop. Ben was a peer specialist, someone whose lived experience made him unshakable and confident in navigating recovery and personal growth. He was the one who told her, almost offhandedly, that the way she approached her life goals was simply all wrong. "You're making it harder than it has to be," he said, glancing at the stairs. "You're thinking too much about the top. It's the first step that matters. Start there." "Easy for you to say," Chloe muttered. "You don't have a million things pulling you in every direction. I have to think about the future. I can't just," she gestured at the stairs, "take one step and ignore the rest." Ben's gaze softened. He stepped off the railing and moved closer to her down the steps. "I get it," he said. "As a peer specialist, I see this all the time. You're trying to carry the weight of the entire journey before you even start. But think of it this way, Chloe, the day you plant a seed isn't the day you eat the fruit. It takes time. Every small action now is part of planting that seed." Chloe frowned, looking up at the stairs again. It felt more like a cliff than a staircase. "But what if nothing grows? What if I take step after step and end up right back where I started, here at the bottom?" Ben smiled faintly, bending slightly so his face was level with hers. "The seed doesn't grow overnight. Sometimes it feels like nothing's happening, but what's happening beneath the surface is just as important. The roots are growing even when you don't see them. And the fruit, that will come, but you've got to trust the process of your own recovery and growth." A strange sense of relief washed over Chloe as his words settled in. She had been so focused on the destination, on the final outcome, that she had overlooked the simple truth. She didn't need to have everything figured out right now at this moment. The seeds she was planting, the small, often mundane steps in her paperwork, her relationships, her personal stability, were the things that would eventually lead to something much greater. "I guess I've been looking at the whole picture," she said slowly, exhaling. "I always feel like I need to know exactly where I'm going, what the end result is supposed to be." Selected stories. The staircase too. Ben nodded, understanding in his eyes. "I get that completely, but the end result is just an idea. You don't have to control it. What you need to focus on is what's right in front of you. The next step, and then the next." Chloe glanced at the staircase again. It still seemed daunting, but now it felt a little less impossible. The idea that she didn't have to climb it all at once, that it was okay to take it slowly, was a revelation. She didn't need to see the whole path to move forward, she just needed to keep walking. "But what if I get stuck?" she asked, doubt still clinging to her. "Then you take a break or adjust. You keep going no matter how small or big the steps feel," Ben said with a shrug, as if it were obvious. "The important thing is that you don't stop. Even when it feels like you're standing still, you're still moving. You're still growing, you're still planting those seeds." For the first time in a long while, Chloe smiled. Not because she had all the answers, but because she could feel something changing inside of her. The weight on her shoulders had lightened just a little. She didn't have to solve everything at once. She didn't have to climb the entire staircase in one go. She just had to take the first step. What if the seeds I plant don't turn into anything? Chloe asked. Ben paused, his smile turning knowing. Then you plant new seeds and more new ones until you find the ones that grow. The goal isn't to get it perfect, it's to keep moving forward. Every step is progress. Chloe stood at the foot of the staircase for a moment, letting the stillness settle into her bones. She wasn't going to have all the answers today or tomorrow or even next month. But the small actions she took now would matter later. Every seed she planted, even if it didn't bloom right away, was part of her journey.